Welcome to the show, Meeting Interesting People. Today my guest is the youngest professional artist in the world, Stass Shpanin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we need to say that this title he got a few years ago, and you can continue to tell us the story, how that happened.
That actually, it was in 2002 when I got the title. By that time I already got some exhibits around the world, and I won prestigious art awards. And then there were submitted materials to the Guinness Book of World Records. And after some of the museums bought my artworks, they gave me the title of the world's youngest professional artist in the world.
So right now you're a student at Hartford University.
Yes, that's true.
And so your first year is done?
Yes, I'm finally done with my first year, and that's gonna be my second year in college, and continuing enjoying. I'm an art major there, so.
Well, we need to tell our viewers that you actually was born in Azerbaijan, in Baku, which is the capital of the Azerbaijan country.
Yeah.
And you start to paint or have an exhibit when you were 10?
No, I actually started when I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
At first, I went to the art center basically, where I started to do art, and since then I continued to do art. And when I was 10, I've decided to participate in the art exhibit in Moscow, and there were thousands of participants, and I've sent my work, and I wasn't sure that I would receive any awards, but there was a big surprise, and I received at that time the first prize, and I was invited in Moscow by the Russian Academy of Fine Arts, and my paintings were exhibited, shown in the Tretyakov State Gallery in Moscow, and so that was basically my first kind of big show that I did. And after that, then a few years later, I also sent some of my works to the art competition that was affiliated with the Library of Congress in the United States. And
how old you were at that time?
At that time, it was in 2002 and 2003, so I was like 13.
Okay.
And I also won the International Grand Prize, and I was invited to the Library of Congress to receive this prize. And the Robert Haas, who is the Pulitzer Prize winner, gave me this honorable award.
But I remember that there was an interview involved too, or it was later, the interview on the TV station.
There was, at that time, I've had an art exhibit in the Gallery 44 in Ellicott City, and there were a lot of publicity in Washington Post, National Geographic, and in many other media.
So this year you turned 19.
Yes.
And so how many exhibits you already passed through?
Actually, I haven't counted, but the last one was actually in the Westfield State, in the Westfield Athenaeum. It was in the Jasper and Art Museum in Massachusetts.
Right.
And so that's where I had my last exhibit. And
so let's go back, like when you were 4 and you started painting, going to the art studio. How does it happen that someone recommended to you to go to this art studio, or you just mom decided that she will take you there, or you showing a talent already by 4? I
mean, at first when I was like 3.5, I would say, I took my mom's lipstick and drew in the refrigerator. So kind of my parents were tired of cleaning.
So they decided to give you a paper and send you to school.
Instead of school, that was the only way to kind of.
So we know that it's not just one kind of award you got it. You mentioned 2 actually. One is a Guinness Book, and then the other one, 3.
3
in
actually.
Moscow, right? But I think that that's not the only one. You have much more than that. So you can tell us.
Yes, I've been. There have been actually many. If we say about the exhibits, I've had in Israel. I had exhibit in Netanya and in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
I had in Azerbaijan, my native country.
Right.
They were exhibiting my work in Japan, in Russia, in France.
Well, I know that you are proud that one of your work was you actually sent as a gift to former President George W. Bush.
Yes, there was a painting. One of the painting, it was called September. It was called Madonna 11th, and that was made in honor of the tragedy that happened on September 11, 2001. And the story started when I went to New York City, when I came here, and I've seen a lot of crying people on the ground zero. And the people were crying because their relatives had died in this tragedy. And I do understand how for every people to lose somebody who is very very close to you, it's definitely a big tragedy. And
so this kind of was your response.
Yeah, and there was like thousands of people who lost of their beloved ones. And so I've sent and I painted this painting. There is like a woman who crying in the sky because of their beloved ones. And then I decided to send this painting as a gift to the George W. Bush because for many, and not only to him, but to the New York Police Department, because I think in many cases the tragedy, there would be more people lost there if there would have been done a lot of right things, as I would say. And so I've sent that, and George W. Bush sent me a letter saying thanks for this painting and how he thinks.
So you were showing the same work at the Harvard exhibit, right? Hartford. You were showing Madonna there, Madonna 11?
No, actually this painting where the original was sold in Stanford.
Oh, Stanford.
In Stanford exhibit,
right,
yeah.
Right. So did you calculate how many work you already done? Like how many pictures you paint?
No, actually no. And because that's the way I live. I do paint like, I drew every day. Sometimes I can't paint because of some circumstances I do.
Well, we know that you had an exhibit and sale at the North End in Boston in the gallery.
Yeah, I do have a few galleries that represent me in Boston area, and one of them is the Armory Gallery. That's on the Prince Street in downtown Boston. And I do work with the gallery for like since I came here, so it was like